keep a journal, and I like to say I'm writing a story about myself. I'm a transsexual woman, I wrote. I'm curious and disgusted about it, and have been my entire life. I've certainly read about the transsexual experience, and for a number of years, too many years, I've witnessed it. I've witnessed myself, both with curiosity about a condition I really didn't know what to call it, and disgust not at myself for being so much, although at times I was, but at the world I lived in. I had contempt for it. And it's only been recently that I've been loosened. I've done as much as I could with the usual transition experience, and I was glad to have had both excellent professional experiences and friends. It's worked out well. And so I feel better about myself that I didn't really go through the surgical part of it, the surgical process, until I was almost 70, and I'm well beyond that. Well, certainly physically, I'm different from the way I was most of my life. Not very different. So let me just do a quick review. I say that being transsexual is my normalcy, for it was something that, well, let me describe it this way. My earliest experiences include a fascination for my mother's apparel. I loved going through her drawers. I loved going through her closet, and when a sister came along, that too. I loved it. I wanted it. But even more importantly, as I first went out into society, let's say as an individual, I remember a kindergarten experience for when it came restroom time. I lined up with the girls, and the boys lined up differently. And eventually, I suppose, the story got home, but I just remember that, and just wanting to be in the girls' bathroom when I was told to be otherwise. And later on, when this continued, I recall an experience with a priest, no less, who told me I was going to hell if I didn't change my behavior. And when you're a youngster and whatever you hear you believe, I believed I was going to hell. And it really affected the way I lived. So I was introduced to a demonic world, I'll call it, a world that I knew I wasn't part of. I knew I was odd. And in a way, I suppose I was lucky. For I was a precocious child, in that I could work with numbers at a very, very early age. And also I could read. I could read before I ever went to school. I was fascinated. I was raised during the Second World War. And of course, the parents had other things to do that we didn't realize. But one of the things I did very, very early is go to our library, and they had a children's hour on Saturday mornings. And we sat, as I recall, in a circle, and somebody read us a story, or two or so, to use up the morning. And I just loved these stories. And at home, we did have books, and somehow or another, with the help of two aunts who were school teachers, neither of them elementary, by the way, I had picked up the skill of reading. And you can imagine going into first grade in the school, the Chicago Tribune in your pocket, It'd be kind of scary introduction to a teacher, wouldn't it? So I had this curiosity about things, and I suppose the skills to develop them. And I also was able to see a world in which I couldn't be part of, a world I wanted and a world I knew I couldn't be part of. Well, that's a standard kind of story. A transsexual person knows it early enough.